Tito, how you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good. So, I'd like you to introduce yourself and, yeah, what do you do? Where are you about? And where are you from?
My name is Tito Verdaguer. I'm from Ecuador. I own this retreat and healing center. I teach Reiki, Qigong, meditation, host retreats, and do ceremonies with magic mushrooms.
Badass. That sounds great. So, clearly I know you. We met 7 years ago, but you told me your story, and it's an absolute great story. So, could you just give us a brief history? First of all, before you got into Reiki, what made you get into Reiki, and now where we are now?
Well, over 20 years ago, I was marketing manager of multinational, making very good money, but I was highly stressed. I was a mess. I had 7 years gastritis.
What is it called?
Gastritis, heartburn.
Okay.
Yeah, I had this burning feeling all the time. I've been to every doctor, done every treatment, nothing worked, so I was taking 6 to 10 pills a day.
Really?
2 after breakfast, 2 after lunch, all day long. I had this burning. It was all my stress. I was very stressed. 7 years gastritis, taking 6 to 10 pills a day.
7 years. So
Yeah.
what kind of job was it? This was just marketing?
Marketing for a multinational, basically a lot of work, a lot of stress.
Were you managing people as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And also 7 years of chronic back and neck pain. I couldn't turn my head half the time.
Really?
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Was it because of the stress, or was it because you were sitting down all the time?
It's stress.
Just stress.
It's just the stress. I've been doing martial arts all my life. I forgot to say I also teach Japanese Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, cool.
So I decided to go on a retreat they were hosting in Hawaii. I decided to go to this retreat, camp at the beach, do some martial arts, and try to relax.
Right.
And in black belts, they started teaching some healing techniques. So they were teaching us some elbow massage in the energy meridians. And I asked, could you do this to me? I'm a mess. I can't turn my head. I was in pain half the time. So they gave me one of these massages. And the next day, one lady that was there, I didn't know her. She asked me, how's your back? Like, it's pretty much the same, you know. So she said, I know this Japanese energy healing technique, like a treatment. I said, sure. So she gave me this treatment. Then days went by, and about 7 days later, I'm talking to somebody I met there, and I hear myself tell this guy, oh man, this is the best decision I ever made. I'm so peaceful and happy. And when
From
I heard
the Reiki session.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time. I just heard myself say this, like, shit, peaceful and happy. I was a mess
7 days ago.
7 days ago. Then I realized, oh, my back. I totally forgot I had a problem in my back. It was gone. Not better, gone.
So basically, she gave you the session,
And
then
all my stress disappeared.
You didn't even notice?
Man, it took me 6-7 days to, oh man, I don't have a pain in my back.
Holy shit.
And then now that I think about it, I haven't taken a pill in a week. And I used to carry a bag of pills, taking six a day. So I went looking for this woman. And when I found her, I told her, remember you gave me a treatment a week ago? She said, yeah. How's your back? I said, I'm going to be honest. I forgot about it. It's gone, disappeared. She smiled. I said, but I didn't tell you that I suffer or used to suffer. I had gastritis for 7 years. I carried this bag of pills. I take 6 to 10 a day. I've been to every doctor. Nothing worked. And since you did whatever you did, I haven't taken a pill. She smiled. And I told her, and what surprised me the most is that I came to this retreat because I was so stressed and angry. I felt I was going to explode. And it's like somebody came and erased all this crap, and my stress is gone. I'm so chill and peaceful. She smiled one more time. She never said a word. So I asked her, what did you do?
Crazy.
She said, Reiki, basically, we channel energy, give your body energy, and your body needs, does whatever it needs to do with it, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, anything. Then I asked her, can anybody learn this? She said, yes, actually, you'd be pretty good at this. Come visit me, I'll teach you for free.
So what?
That's what she said.
So she obviously could feel like an energy about you or something. It must have been something.
Something. So I asked her, so where do you live? She said, Northern India, base of the Himalayas. I'm a Tibetan Buddhist nun. I'm like, oh man. I thought I had to come back to Ecuador to pay for the ticket. I just put on my credit card to Hawaii, and maybe a year later, maybe go find this woman in the middle of nowhere. And I still had a couple more days in Hawaii, and thinking things through, and maybe a conversation with her, I made up my mind. And I had a relationship that wasn't working, so I broke up with my girlfriend from a public phone in Hawaii. Came back to Ecuador because I had already a return ticket, talked to my mom, talked to my boss, quit my job, got on a plane and left for India so I could learn this.
Really?
Yes, that was it.
So you did a retreat to Hawaii.
Got one treatment and changed my life.
You just said, I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm
done.
Breaking up with you. I'm leaving work.
Done.
And I'm going to Nepal.
Northern India.
Northern India. Holy crap.
That's where the Tibetans have political asylum in India, because China has Tibet invaded, so they're all in India. The Dalai Lama monastery is in northern India.
Wow.
So I did my first 2 levels there, and I was supposed to go back a year later for my master's. But I managed to convince this lady to come and teach me my master's here in Ecuador. So I rented a big house in Guayaquil, 6-bedroom, huge house. We started doing treatments and classes. And days went by, then weeks, then months. She never left. I worked and lived with my teacher for many years. I was very lucky, very blessed, brother.
That's amazing. When you were in Tibet, like how many months were you there to do your training?
I was there just a few months. The way she teaches Reiki, first level is 4 or 5 days of class, half theory, half practice. So you do a few treatments in front of your teacher. Before you even think of doing Reiki 2, you need to do 40 practice hours, 40 treatments, take notes, and show your teacher those notes. If the notes make sense and everything seems in order, you do Reiki 2, 8 full days, and once that is done, 60 practice hours, take notes, show them the notes, and that's when you finish Reiki 2. Most places you get Reiki 1 in 4 hours, this Saturday, Reiki 2 next Saturday, and you're a Reiki master in 3 Saturdays. It
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. You don't learn anything.
Right. So, and then, so you were there for a few months. Because what year did you go?
99.
How was it, like, the northern India? Was it pretty, like, bare bones, or was there still comforts?
Where we were, it was the Dalai Lama monastery is in this small city called Dharamsala.
Okay.
Above that, there is this town called McLeodganj. There's like a little Montanita in the mountains. Up there are a lot of tourists.
Okay.
And above that, there was a tiny little village in the base of the Himalayas with 10 houses. No internet, no coffee shop, no nothing, man.
Gotcha.
Nothing. Just class, meditate, go to bed, wake up, class, go to bed, meditate.
And then when you did that, all your stress, all your gastritis, and all your back problems gone?
Well, it was gone since Hawaii. I just came there to learn this.
Awesome. So then you came to, as the story goes, you came to Guayaquil, you rented a place, and you brought her.
Yeah, and we had a center working there together for many years. And I always had the dream of leaving the city. I don't like cities. It's too much stress. Everybody's angry. It's just not for me. And I wanted to have this retreat healing center near the beach. I'm a surfer. I love surfing. I love the ocean. I like nature. But I didn't have the money. And eventually some property that my grandfather left behind as inheritance got sold. And my mom helped me with this. And boom.
Bromelia.
Bromelia's here. And I've been here 10 years now.
Man, because I'm going to take a video of the whole place. But this place is got a vibe, man. It's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Pretty damn amazing.
I'm done. I'll never finish.
No.
You know, I'm doing something every day. Whenever I have time or money or both, I'm doing something.
Yeah, man. 100%. Sweet. So, now that you're here in Bromelia, can you explain some of your, like, kind of reactions that you had with certain patients, or some of your best stories? Like, obviously, you had a great story with...
Yeah. Well, a really good one is my sister. Before I even opened Bromelia, I was in Guayaquil. They had given her hormones for 15, 20 years. She wouldn't get her period without hormones, and she's been on hormones for 20 years. And by that time, she was, I think, 36. She was approaching 40. She had lost one ovary, one fallopian tube, and the other ovary was atrophied. Had 7 surgeries for cysts, endometriosis, myomas. Every doctor here in the U.S., the Oceanary Clinic, everybody told her there's nothing that can be done. Can't stop taking hormones, forget about children. When I got back, I told her, I have a lot of faith in this. Stop taking the hormones. Worst case scenario, you start taking them again. You know, nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Start giving her 3-4 treatments per week. At the 3rd month, she started getting her period without hormones for the first time in 20 years. We get to the 6th month, she gets a sonogram. There's a tiny baby, she's pregnant, but there's also a 7-centimeter cyst. I told her, don't let the doctors do anything. I gave her Reiki twice a day for like 10, 12, 14 days. I can't remember exactly, but when her energy felt good, I told her, go get a sonogram. The cyst was gone. In making the story short, I have a 21-year-old niece, a 10-year-old nephew. She never took hormones ever again. She's fine.
Why do you think her energy was out of place? Like, how do people's energy get out of place?
Stress, emotional trauma. Yes, usually emotional.
Yeah.
My parents got divorced when my sister was very young, and I think that affected a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to say exactly what it was, but it's usually an emotional thing that tenses up, creates an energy blockage. And if there's an energy blockage anywhere for long enough, something in the body is going to start not working properly.
Gotcha. And then what would you say, how many Reiki sessions do you need? Like,
it depends on the problem. The older the problem, or the more chronic the problem, the more treatments it may take.
okay.
So if you have gastritis for 6 months, maybe do 3 or 5. If you have them for 20 years, you may need a lot. But there's exceptions. I only had one, and all my things, poof. But that is not usually the rule. I wish I could just go zoom and boom.
Right.
It's not always the case. A lot of times you need a lot of treatment.
Yeah.
The other case you heard about is about the guy that came with pancreas cancer, I think.
Yeah, like the worst cancer. Like, you're done, right? Like 98%
Yeah,
chance
he
of
had
death.
chemo radiation and nothing was working, so he was just supposed to go lay in
walking
bed. And
corpse.
yeah, he was skin and bone. We had to help him walk from the parking lot here. He couldn't barely walk.
Okay.
And I told him what my teacher told me. Cancer is 6 months of Reiki, and if the person is in bad shape, maybe twice a day at the beginning. So he moved in here. I told him what I've been told. Let's do 6 months. We do 3 months. You get a test, see how things are going, and then we continue. He got the test at 3 months. He told me things are looking good. By the 6th month, he got some tests, and he was cancer-free, and that was 5 years ago. Everybody around here met him because he was with me for half a year.
So, did you get like a testimony from him or anything? Like
He gave me a video.
a video?
Yeah,
Do you have that video?
I do somewhere. Yeah, it's
Awesome. That's amazing. Did you do any other people had cancer that came here that you
Not
fixed?
with cancer. People get scared. Doctors tell them that's the only choice. So usually most people I've treated with cancer, they're trying to do both. They get 2 weeks of chemotherapy, get 2 weeks of Reiki, 2 weeks of chemotherapy. It will help, but it's not ideal. I feel that most of the energy the body's using it to fight the chemo.
Yeah.
I give them, when they're done the chemo, I give them Reiki, and by the 2 weeks I start feeling their energy better, and then boom, goes to the chemo again. So it's not ideal, but I can't tell people what to do with their life, so whatever they choose to do, that's what we do.
Gotcha. And then, have you ever had any luck with, like, do you think magical mushrooms have like a healing property? Or
Oh yeah. There's a American lady, friend of mine now, she lives here. She had been on antidepressants for 2 decades.
Right.
And got a few Reiki treatments. She learned Reiki with me. She did a ceremony, started microdosing. She's been off the pills for 5-7 years already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anybody who's depressed and taking medication for anxiety, depression, they can drop them today. microdose mushrooms and be good in very quick, a month, 2, 3. I make packs of 30 pills that you take one every 3 days. It lasts you 3 months, and that should take care of it. Any type of depression, you get ideally some Reiki treatments, because Reiki does things that mushrooms won't, and mushrooms do some things in the brain, rewire the brain that probably Reiki doesn't. So my suggestion would be, come here, get 10 Reikis, take these pills, and you're good. Simple. It's very simple.
Why do you think, like people, like right now in this day and age, depression is, especially in Western cultures, on rapid. People just, everyone seems to have depression. Why do you think that is?
Well, their lifestyle,
What would be an ideal lifestyle to prevent that?
Nature. Leave the city, live during that cement jail, working all day long, not enjoying life. People are not happy. That's it.
I hear you.
Go to the beach, go get a hobby, walk barefoot in the sand, chill.
I do. Man, that's why
Magic.
I'm here.
Nature's got its own magic.
Got his own magic, 100%. So that's pretty cool. So how about with the Reiki? Can you feel people's energy pretty quick?
Oh yeah. A Reiki treatment, I cover the whole body. The crown, the ears, the eyes, and little by little I cover the whole body, front and back, so I feel every chakra, every organ, liver, pancreas, gallbladder, spleen, kidneys, I feel everything. So I can tell how the person is and how things are getting better. That's part of why you have to do 40 practice hours on Reiki 1, 60 more on Reiki 2, and the more practice you get, the more sensitivity you develop, so you can feel an organ, you can feel a chakra. That's why most of those quick courses are worthless.
Yeah. And can you feel people's, one thing I've kind of been noticing is like I have like sometimes like a thought will come in my head of a friend that I haven't seen for like 4 years, right? And then 2 hours later he messages me or something.
Yeah.
Can you feel like people's energy is from far distances away, or
Sometimes.
are you connected in that kind of aspect?
Sometimes when people that are close to you, you can sense sometimes, good friends, close friends, my daughter. But I have some people that don't live in the country, and I'm doing long distance treatments. So I can do a long distance Reiki and feel all your energy and all your chakras without you being here.
How?
There's 2 ways to do long distance treatment. One is the general sending of energy. I just send energy till it stops. And the other one is like a full treatment, and I imagine I have a little person and I do the whole treatment and I can feel the liver, the pancreas. It's the same thing as having you here.
Yeah. Cool. Really cool. So then you started up Bromelia, and then you offer quite a bit of stuff. What's your main thing? Like, what was when you first started, what was your vision? Like, was it just Reiki?
Well, I had this center in the city and people would be at work, drive through traffic, come get a treatment, get back in the car, go back to traffic.
Yeah.
And I thought that wasn't ideal. It'd be ideal if they could get away for a day or 2, leave the city, come chill as long as they can. Most people that are working can only do it on the weekend, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to leave the city too.
Yeah. And then here, this is all bought and paid for, no debt. Awesome. And then what other?
So I do treatments and I teach classes. Some people come to learn Reiki. I also teach Qigong or Qigong.
And that's a martial art?
No. So Qi is energy in Chinese. Qi is energy in Japanese, sorry. And Qi is energy in Chinese. So in Reiki, somebody channels energy and gives you a charge. Qigong are exercises combined with breathing technique to get your own charge.
Right.
So there are exercises to give your body a charge to keep you healthy.
Cool. And then I think you also have retreats with martial arts people come here, don't they?
Sometimes I have a second dan Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and I have some friends in the city who have their dojos, and once in a while they come and we practice. I do regular classes Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays of Qigong. I do Reiki treatments based on appointments. People call me, make an appointment. And same things with the classes. Somebody wants to learn Reiki, I need to get groups of 2 because it's half is practice.
Yeah.
So I need 2, 4, or 6, or 8, and so we do theory, and then half of them lay down, the other half given treatments. I watch and correct, and then they switch over. The one that did the treatment lays down, and the other one gives them. So everybody gives and receives a treatment every day while I'm supervising that they're doing it right, that the posture is correct, that they're focused. Because the most important thing while doing Reiki is your mind needs to be focused on your breath.
Right.
Only when you're not thinking, doing, trying, only then you're a channel.
Gotcha.
So it takes a little practice to do this without getting distracted.
And Shaogun is also good for charging up your energy and
Yes,
stuff?
you're getting energy for yourself. You don't learn to give energy to anybody else, but you get energy for yourself.
Awesome.
That's what most Chinese people are doing in the mornings in every park in the planet. You see them.
Right.
Some of them are doing Tai Chi,
Yeah.
and I say most of them are probably doing Qigong or Qigong.
Cool. And then I know back when I was here a couple of years ago, you also did ayahuasca and mushroom
Ceremony.
ceremonies. What, do you still do both, or do you just
Well,
do...
I do my ceremonies with mushrooms because I like them better. I've done a bunch of ayahuasca. I did 20, 25 ceremonies in a year. And
Is that taxing on the brain?
nah. But ayahuasca can be a lot more uncomfortable because beside the vision or trip or whatever you want to call it, one of the plants in the mix gets you detoxing, so there's a lot of throwing up, purging, sometimes diarrhea.
Right.
Mushrooms don't have any of that physical effects. It's just,
Right. You might get a little gut rot.
but it's strange. Most people don't.
Right.
And so I've tried all of them, ayahuasca, San Pedro, and mushrooms, and my favorite is mushrooms. And there's tons of research on mushrooms. You can just start reading and not finish for weeks all the research, and you don't have that with ayahuasca, DMT, or San Pedro.
Very positive mushrooms, like across all spectrums.
Yeah,
of
you have
making
a bunch
quality
of
life
them
better.
on Netflix, Fantastic Fungi, How to Change Your Mind. There's a bunch. The research is overwhelming. Who started, I think it was Johns Hopkins.
Yeah.
Johns Hopkins gave it to terminally ill people. And the fear of the cancer and the fear of death disappear. They're peaceful and happy, and have a better easier transition.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how often do you do mushroom retreats?
I have posted online 1 week every month for the first 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
And ceremonies whenever we get a group together. Sometimes people that are not here on a retreat ask for a ceremony, and we arrange it. Yeah.
Awesome. Wicked. That is great. So I always finish up these things with, what's your future goals and future plans, short and long term? So for short term, what do you have planned for Bromelia and for Tito?
Well, short term, I'll never be done pimping this place up.
Man.
So I have so many ideas in my head. It's just a matter of...
Give me three. Give me 3 ideas you got.
There's plenty. I extended the balconies in this one cabin 3 more meters. So instead of being a small balcony with a hammock, now it's like a living room.
Gotcha.
I like to extend all of them. There's this guy that makes these carved Buddhas. I want to buy 100 of them. If it was up to me, I would have one in every tree.
So like, how big are these Buddhas?
Well, the one I'm ordering now is over 1 meter, probably 300 pounds because it's solid rock. I want a little waterfall with a koi pond. The list is long. I'll never finish.
Awesome.
And it's cool. I always have something to do.
And then long-term goals. You got any trips planned? Or are you going to do any more, maybe meet some more Reiki masters or martial art masters?
What I really like to do We have a few months here that the weather is not that good. It gets all cloudy.
Oh, yeah.
There's very little people. I like to take off 3 months each year to probably Asia. I was in Thailand and Bali just now.
Yeah.
I like to connect with some center over there so I can live and do the same thing over there for a couple months, go surfing, chill, and come back when the weather is nice again.
That's what I do. I left Canada for the same reason,
Yeah.
except like even when I come here when it's shitty, it's still better than Canada.
Yeah, it's still
so
better than that.
You're just like upgrading even
our
more.
chili, our cold is not that cold.
Yeah, it's like 21.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Sweet. Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Video. Yeah,
My pleasure, brother.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Wicked.
Perfect.
Hello, my name is Christian. I arrived at Bromelia a year ago, more or less. I arrived with a cancer that I've had for 9 months, almost a year. I had pancreatic cancer, and it was really bad. I was 400 pounds, and I went down to 103 pounds, or 48 kilos. My state of health was terrible. I went to Bromelia unable to walk. The person who drove me had to bring me inside. I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat, and my health was awful. I have been doing chemotherapy, which is poison. Anyways, it was killing me. I don't know if it was the cancer killing me or the medication. In any case, I started doing Reiki. I stopped taking all other medications. I used to take 50 pills every day. After 6 months of Reiki, I am totally cured. My exams say that I have 0 cancer. I am perfectly healthy. I am very grateful. There are many things we do not understand, and there are many things that we are not supposed to understand either. I'm simply happy to be here. Today, I am healthy, happy, and more importantly, I'm alive. My birthday is in a week, in which I did not think I would make it. Neither did the doctors. But thanks to Tito and his energy, I am here. Simply not much more to say. Today I'm good. Today I light a candle for each person who has cancer, who goes through difficult times. Good luck.
Hi, my name is June, and I am a co-owner of a business in our city. I refer to myself as a very logical and analytical type person. I had a few accidents, car accidents, and I ended up having a chronic neck issue where my neck would go into spasms that left me almost immobile. It was debilitating. I tried a variety of treatments, everything I could think of, and then as a last result, my doctors suggested I have my neck fused. Prior to doing that, I met with a friend of mine, and she said she had also been in an accident and tried a variety of different treatments, and she ended up going to see a Reiki healer, something back then I did not believe in, but at that point it was either going to see the Reiki healer or have my neck fused, and the Reiki healer was definitely a better option. So I went, and within a very short time, probably about 4 to 6 treatments, she completely cured my neck spasms, which again would leave me absolutely in excruciating pain and immobile. I needed help getting in and out of bed. It was horrible, and to this day I have not had any neck issues at all. So it's, to me, The only thing that I changed was seeing the Reiki healer, and I could definitely tell on the first few treatments or visits, she definitely made an enormous difference. Anyway, that's my story.
Hi, my name is Casey. There's something I wanted to share. This is actually my first time sharing this. So this is my story. This is what happened to me. It was 5 years ago. I was in Montanita, Ecuador, and I was at, they call it the Puta. It's the farthest point in Montanita. And we would go there, me and my brother Tito would go there every evening along with a bunch of our other friends and watch the sunset. And it's always beautiful. So this one particular day, we're watching the sunset, and the sun descends below the clouds, and I see it. I see these brilliant colors, I see the pinks, the oranges, yellow, everything. And I can remember this moment of, like, I feel as if, like, tears are rolling down my face, and I turn to Tito and I look at him and I say, "Are you seeing this?" And he looks at me and smiles and he says, "Yes, I'm seeing this, of course." And I said, "You see this all the time?" He said, "Yes, of course." This was the first, Tito didn't know in that moment what I was asking, but this was the first real sunset I'd ever seen in my entire life. So I'll give you really quickly some background on, I was born completely blind. When I was almost 3 years old, I had eye surgery. It's the late part of 1978. And they were able to give me sight. I mean, not great sight, but they were able to give me sight. But the two things that they couldn't give me, they couldn't give me color. And they couldn't, I couldn't see out of both eyes at the same time. So that's a whole different issue. But I spent my first 3 years of my life in darkness, and then after that I saw shades of gray until this day. And it's almost unexplainable to me. This was not my first time to Ecuador. I've been there, coming there for years, and stayed in Bromelia for years. But this particular journey, I had done a lot of different things. I learned, Tito taught me Reiki. We were doing Qigong classes every morning. I was microdosing on psilocybin every single day. And there's, I don't know what the technical term for it is, but there's a device that was at Bromelia called a brain machine, where it's goggles you put on, and it has a series of different light flashes and colors, and then sound tones. So basically, the idea of it is it makes the two hemispheres, left and right hemisphere, kind of connect in ways that they're not used to connecting. So those are the four things that I was doing. That this was so remarkable that I could see color. It wasn't all at once. It was the next day. I remember the morning I was looking out. I was at Bromelia. I was getting out in the jungle, and I looked at Tito and I was like, "That's green." And I'm pointing at basically all the foliage that's out there, all the green that's in the jungle. And he's like, "Yeah, that's green." And then the next day, the sky, blue, like these colors just kept coming to me, and I can't explain it. And I feared when I left that place that I would lose it. This is 5 years ago. I feared that I would lose that ability to see these colors. Somehow I thought, like, this is a magical place. This is very unique. And when I'm taken away from it, I'm going to go back to the way I was. And it has. And that was 5 years ago. And I can still see color to this day. I can't explain it. It's a miracle. I can't explain it. I don't know if it was, like I said, it did those four things, and I don't know if it was one of them, none of them, a combination that made me get this ability back. I think it's a combination. That I don't know. Anyways, thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Reiki. I had never taken a Reiki treatment in my life when I signed up to do the level 1 Reiki course with Tito. I signed up mostly for curiosity. I was kind of not really knowing what to expect. I didn't really think much of it. I just had some free time and I had some extra money and a little bit of curiosity. I'd already made myself a yoga teacher, so I decided I would find out what Reiki was really about. And during the course of the training, I learned some very amazing things. I felt some very amazing things, both physically in my body, with my mind. And during the course, which only lasted 4 days, we split it up. We did 2 days on, 2 days off, and then we finished off the next 2 days. And during that whole time, I felt so at peace. I slept better than I've ever slept in my life. I felt so relaxed. I think from some of the, well, they call it an initiation, some of the treatment Tito gives you during the training, and also receiving numerous Reiki treatments and giving numerous Reiki treatments. I really found some mental peace. And both my mind and my body felt great. It was a really amazing experience. I learned a lot more than I thought I'd learn. I got a lot more out of it than I thought I would. It's a very amazing thing to get to know. I could go on and on and on about it, about the workings of it and what happens, and you know how it really works is just a really amazing thing to know. But definitely, there's definitely something there. It's definitely a lot more behind that tradition. That it's a shame that it's not more well known in today's world.